Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for watching. Today, I want to talk about movie trailers. Okay, first off, I don't like movie trailers. They just ruin the movie. No way to sugarcoat this other than they just ruin the movie. They show more than they need to, and it ruins the entire experience. I want to know as little as possible when I go into a movie. I've had, on a few occasions, I've been lucky enough to watch movies with no prior knowledge. In some cases, literally nothing. I didn't know the actors involved, who directed it. I didn't know anything, the premise of the movie, none of these things, and they were some of the best movie experiences I've ever had in a movie theater, literally. So going to the movies for me is something that I can't get enough of. I love it. It's one of my favorite hobbies in the entire world. And I love movies very dearly. I love everything about the movie going experience in a theater. And I want as little distractions as possible. Distractions are sometimes part of the deal. You're going into a huge room, unless you rent the theater out for just you and the people that you select to be in the theater with you, you're gonna run into other people. That's just how it works. Sometimes you get a baby crying. Watch a really big premiere, you'll get people talking and trying to show off because they know other people are listening, so they'll pretend like they know a bunch of stuff. When in reality, you just want them to shut up so you can watch the movie. A really good example of this would be the whole chicken jockey situation going on right now. You got a lot of kids that don't even know what chicken jockey is, but in order to feel like they're in the loop, they wait till that scene pops up and then they overcompensate, overreact, and then you get this crazy fiasco. And it's very sad to see these poor workers at these theaters having to deal with that. It's just not right, but that's what you get when you go into a movie theater. You run the risk of being around other people in public, and other people may do stuff that you don't agree with. That's just how movies work. But something that you can't control is not watching a trailer. Plain and simple, they show way too much in a trailer, and if I recognize any of those moments while I'm watching the movie, it's going to ruin the experience for me. It's going to take me out of my immersion, which is what I want to be. I want to be in an immersive state when I watch a movie. I want to be as invested in the film as possible while it's going on. I want to be led by the director and the choices that they made in every aspect of the film process that takes you on a literal journey. And I want to be experiencing all that as it happens, how it's intended by the filmmakers. So yes, for me, trailers, big no-no. I really try to avoid them at all costs. I'm not saying that you should do the same, but I'm saying why I don't, and trying to give some alternatives to watching a trailer so you can still go out there and continue to watch movies with a little bit of I call it like a hack of you being able to still watch movies without having to watch trailers and have the whole movie spoiled before you get to watch it. Now, movie trailers do show a lot, but there is a flip side to that I find really interesting, and it's kind of hilarious and kind of messed up at the same time. So, some movie trailers will have a scene or a part or a little snippet, whatever it may be, but you may have loved that particular part in the trailer and it won't be in the movie when you watch it in theaters. And this has happened to my brothers before. We were all watching tons of movies during this time when The Bourne Legacy was in trailers in theaters, and the trailer was being shown constantly. Big movie, so it had a lot of theaters that it was showing the trailers. It was getting a lot of runtime, is what I'm trying to say. I'm butchering my words. So The Bourne Legacy is being shown all the time, and we watched the trailer together a few different times, so we gotten to notice certain parts. And there's a part where Jeremy Renner, I think he jumps off a roof, and he's in an alley. And in this alley scene, he says, I don't even remember what he says exactly, because in the trailer versus the movie, there's a part taken out, and it's been years since I watched the trailer, and I never watched the movie myself. But there's a scene, he goes down into the alley and he says something to, I believe it's Rachel Weisz. And that part that's in the trailer is not in the final cut of the movie. And my brothers, they went to watch the movie. And I asked them afterwards, like, well, how was the movie? Did you get to see that part? Because they literally went to the theater to watch that specific part of Jeremy Renner saying, I believe he says something like, are you all right? Are you okay? Or whatever the case may be. It wasn't in the movie. And they were very bummed out. And they were like, yeah, the movie wasn't really that great, but that scene was all I went to go see, and it wasn't in there. So yeah, they will take stuff out. So from trailer to the final product, you might not get everything that you bargained for. So there's the flip side of it. So if you're not watching a trailer, you're probably asking me, how the heck do I know if the movie's any good? Well, easy answer, you don't. I will say this about movies. Movies are a gamble. If you don't agree with me, that's fine, but that's just how I feel. I feel all movies are a gamble. If you really think about it, you can have a movie that you watch the trailer and you dissect the trailer, and like people are doing with Superman. You watch the movie, dissect everything, you're like, oh my god, they're doing this, they're doing that, it's gonna be great, I can't wait. You watch it, and then everything that's not shown in the trailer could be really bad, not up to your standards. You lost that gamble, and there's just no way of 100% knowing. It's the flip side. Like I said, there's movies that I don't know anything about, or very little about, and I go into the movie not knowing any of this, and I end up leaving the theater with a smile on my face from ear to ear because it was an amazing film. There's just no way of knowing. At least that's how I feel. Maybe you feel differently, but for me, I feel all movies are a gamble. So if you don't know, because you don't watch the trailer, you don't know what the movie's going to be about, how can you know the movie's going to be good? So what I like to call trusted sources really helps. What are trusted sources? Well, if you know a fellow cinephile, you have a coworker that's always talking about the latest movies, and it seems like they have a similar style to what you like, because there are different types of moviegoers, right? There's people that watch anime specifically, action movies only, comedy, mainstream movies. They don't really care for the dramas and the Oscar winning or Oscar nominated type movies, long run times. There's all different types of movies and moviegoers. So you want to find like-minded movie people, talk, converse with them, get to know them, talk about the movies with them, and then back and forth recommendations until you guys get it right. If you don't know a person well, you might recommend them the wrong movie, and that can really hurt a trusted source over time. I'm pretty sure, at least for me, I know somebody and they might recommend a movie to you. You've known them for years, and they recommend you a movie, and you're like, bro, that movie sucked. They're like, oh, really? I thought you'd like it. And then they do it again 3 months later. It's like, what don't you get? I don't like those type of movies. Oh, really? I liked it. I thought you would like it. That's not a trusted source for you. That person clearly doesn't know you, and they don't pay attention to you. So you can scratch them off the list. They are not a trusted source. They're the opposite. They are going to give you the wrong recommendations every time. So yeah, make a community of people that are into the same they don't have to necessarily be in the same type of movies as you, but they know you well enough that they're going to make the right recommendations. And if you make recommendations as well, people will want to pay it forward. And eventually they might give you a recommendation and maybe they'll get it right. Now you have another trusted source that can give you recommendations without you having to watch the movie or trailer and have to read up on anything or anything like that. And that's literally how I had some of my greatest experiences. Is I have trusted sources, other people in my life, and they go, "Hey, I know you're gonna like this movie," and I trust them. They've hit it right on the head before, and so I can go into the next film that they recommend with, you know, I can just completely trust them, and they knock it out of the park a lot of the times. It's a great way to go into a movie without having no prior knowledge and being pleasantly surprised because it's just a much better experience in my opinion without knowing a single thing about the movie. It's awesome. Now, another great way to find trusted sources, and I think this is the big one. This is what I use and it's helped me so much, and that is simply watching the credits and paying attention. Now, if you're sitting there watching the movie, if you're in a theater, you notice a lot of people they turn on their phone the second the movie is over, which is a problem in itself. Unless you got kids that are waiting for you, or a spouse that's begging you to come back home, or you're in trouble with somebody and they need to know where you're at, whatever the case may be, or you got work soon, whatever. But if you don't have anything pressing, enjoy the music, the scenery, the vibe for a little longer. But a lot of people, they go straight to their phones, right? And that's a problem in itself. I think in general we're too addicted to our phones, but hey, that's a topic for another day. But if you're in the theater, movie ends, maybe don't go straight to your phone. Pay attention to the few other names that pop up. You're going to get, top billing is going to be the actors, the director, the production studio, the composers, the cinematographers, so forth and so on. And if you really liked the movie, maybe paying attention to a few of those names, not all of them. I mean, who's got that much time in it? That's too much effort. Pay attention to a few of them. Maybe an actor really did something that you liked in this particular movie. Look for them. Remember their name. Or maybe you really liked the cinematography, the way the movie looked, the visuals were great, and you just couldn't get enough of it. Maybe it was the music. Whatever it is that speaks to you. Because when you go to a movie and you enjoy a movie, something speaks to you. Whether it's the portrayal of an actor, whether it's the music or any of these things, something really connects with you. So try to find that particular person's name that did that thing that spoke to you. Remember it, commit it to memory, maybe write it down in your phone, and then go about your day. Later on, you get home, look up that person's name, see what else they've done. IMDb is a great source, imdb.com. You can get their filmography. It'll show all the films that they've done, TV projects, video games. It'll give a list of their career. And it'll give a little bit about them, what they've done, early life, stuff like that. But what you're really looking for is their filmography and what they've worked on. If you notice while going through their filmography that a lot of their stuff is stuff that you like as well, then you can pretty much chalk them up to being a trusted source for you. That actor or director or whatever they may be is a trusted source for you. And going forward in the future, instead of watching a trailer, just look them up and go, oh, they got a new movie coming out in 2026. So 2026 rolls around, or 2025, the end of 2025. Look them up and go, okay, that movie's coming out soon. And then you'll hear the trailers start to come out. If it's a bigger release, then trailers are going to be everywhere, right? But if it's a smaller release, then you can easily avoid that trailer and know the release date by looking up the actor and going, oh, wow, that movie's coming out in a month. And you have avoided the trailer up until that point. You like the actor. no need to watch the trailer and go into that film with no prior knowledge other than you know that actor's going to be in there. Now, you've just increased that movie gamble, the odds of that movie gamble. You just increased the odds for yourself immensely by doing this. And this is what I personally do, whether it's a trusted source of a filmmaker or somebody I know in real life that gives me a recommendation. And these are things that I've been doing for a long time, and they have steered me right plenty of times. And I've watched trailers that I go, okay, I'll give in and watch this trailer. Everybody's talking about it. And I watched the trailer and I'm like, wow, that looks pretty darn good. And I watched the movie and I've left the theater going, that sucked. So yeah, and it goes both ways. You can get a recommendation and from a person, and the movie could still suck. You can be one of your favorite actors, and every movie they come out with can be a home run, 10 out of 10 every time. And then this particular movie can be garbage. It happens because movies are a gamble, but the odds are much higher. I'm pretty sure you can understand what I'm trying to say here. You increase your odds, and by not watching a trailer, you can avoid a lot of that. You save yourself from being ruined a lot of film because they show too much. You may see another actor that you didn't know was going to be in the movie, and so when that person pops up, they might only be in the movie for 3 minutes, but they showed that part in the trailer of that actor, so now you know a big portion of that particular actor's role in the movie, and it just can really ruin it for you. So yeah, these are just some tips, some hacks that I've learned over the years and that I use every time I want to watch a new movie. I use these hacks. So it's worked for me. Hopefully it works for you. If you've had any experience similar to mine, or you use different types of hacks, or you just think what I'm saying is stupid, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. So hope to hear some cool, interesting ideas. Let me know, guys. See you in the next.
Established. Your Watcher Kilo has been eliminated. Perfect execution. The Pantheon's probably pissing themselves right now.
We'll take that victory lap now.